Today on 8.
I was scratching.
Okay, tell me when you're ready.
I'm good.
Fine now?
I'm good.
That's all right?
I'm good.
That's all right to start?
Yes.
Today on 8.5 bit, we beat our yarn, beat some mechs, and beat our sabers. Welcome, friends of all designs, to 8.5 bit, episode 253. It is. What a number!
It is.
A big round number to celebrate.
Toilet roll life.
Yeah, I wrote toilet roll life. What's wrong with that?
There's no hashtag.
No, I stopped the hashtags.
How are they going to hashtag it?
Well, we never use the hashtags anyway.
It's really don't.
So there were always kind of pointless things for me to write on the blackboard behind me. If you just listen to this, I write a stupid thing on the blackboard behind me for every episode.
I don't get that one.
We've both been playing a game with a lot of toilet rolls in it.
Oh, we have, yeah. Okay, I get it now.
Okay.
I get jokes.
So the game with the toilet rolls is Yoshi's Crafted World.
Yes.
The game with the mechs is everyone's most anticipated game, Mechstermination Force.
Which I'd never heard of.
You should have. I've spoken about it at least 3 times in the chat over the last month.
Yeah, but I kind of tune you out.
You do.
Yeah.
And James has finally got into Beat Saber.
Yes.
He's finally got there. James's list again was boring, so I just picked the one I liked the most.
The one that I've played the most you didn't mention.
Yoshi?
No.
Lenovo?
No.
We've already spoken about Division 2.
Yeah, but now I have more to say about it.
Yeah, but I'm even less interested.
Yeah, you're kind of right to be less interested.
Look, if I was to play a Schluter,
Yeah.
which I am not, Division 2 would probably be my most interested
Yeah,
game.
I think that it would be the one that you would like the most.
But I'm not.
No, you won't.
But I'm not.
Yeah. He's not.
No, he won't.
I know he won't.
He won't play any little Schluter at all.
He hates him.
That is true. Will Borderlands 3 change the tune for Paul? No.
No, it won't.
No, it won't. We'll get to Borderlands 3
Yes,
as well.
we will.
Okay, how have you been the last 2 weeks, James?
Yeah, pretty good.
I'm having a big trouble with the 2-week thing at the moment. Because 2 weeks is too long for my brain.
There's a lot that happens
And I
in
go,
2 weeks.
did we talk about... Because we recorded the last one just as Stadia was announced. And then, an hour or so after the recording, it's like, oh, by the way, Apple Arcade.
Yes.
But now that's ancient history.
Yeah, that's over a week ago now.
Yeah.
It's it might as well just be dead.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it is already. I've heard nothing else about it.
Yep.
Therefore, dead. Mm-hmm. And Stadia as well. No one's mentioned that word
no one
again.
gives a shit about Stadia.
Yeah. 2 more days with no Borderlands 3 news, and it is also dead. Okay.
Yeah, Anthem keeps coming back though.
Nah, it comes
There was always more Anthem news coming out. Even Fallout 76 got back in the hate cycle.
Well, I mean, Fallout 77 was announced for Switch.
No, it's going to be fantastic. Yeah.
That was a very good... look, April Fool's happened, and we'll list all the funny jokes now. So that was a very good list, James. But one that actually I did end up appreciating was everything on Nintendo Switch. I think.
That was good. Yeah.
It just starts with Wind Waker HD and then Twilight Princess HD. I think that was the order. And then just and actually we're going to bring all the Zeldas.
Yeah.
And it was okay, but that's not all. We're going to bring all these games that you want on here. But it was all stuff that is perpetually rumored.
Yeah.
So it's this is. As soon as there was 2 things, I'm like, no, Nintendo doesn't do 2 things at once like this. But they just kept going. But I'm showing it at work, and it's being believed really far into the video.
Yeah.
Up to the go but we said everything's coming, so that's why we have to include the bad things too. And then just everything starts coming out like Microsoft Word and Fallout 76 and Fallout 77 and all that sort of stuff. But I just like that every time you're just getting angry clicking more.
What I was half expecting at the end of that, it was just going to be, Steam Link support.
Yeah.
So they'd never do it, but it'd be nice.
I mean, it's going to be a real weird new world as we're coming up. I'm going to say E3 this year is going to be a very interesting time because we may very likely see the ability to play 360 games on a Switch.
Yep.
Which is weird business-wise and all these things to work out. Look, there's actually a lot of business talk to talk about.
Yeah.
But We're not even supposed to be in the game part yet. We're supposed to be in the How Are You, James part.
Oh, in the banter part. So, yeah, I've been good. What have I been doing? Getting some wedding stuff sorted out. Got myself a bow tie.
You're going to wear a bow tie to the wedding?
Well, I actually bought 2 bow ties. One was a very expensive bow tie from Lithuania. The other one was a less expensive bow tie from Australia. And I'm going to pick which one I want once I get the...
Why don't you make a public poll?
No, because they're dumb.
But then you can wear a bow tie that's called Bow Tie McBow tie face.
Yeah, Bodie McBow tie face. Nope, I will pick the bow tie myself. But yeah, it's all come together.
Are we
Got my
supposed to,
shoes.
Am I supposed to be wearing a suit?
No, you can wear what you want.
Is there much of... Because we have not spoken about any wedding clothes at all, so why not on it?
Why not do it now? It's just going to be basically cocktail attire.
So like we all just wear what we want?
Kind of. Like no polo shirts and shorts.
I'm not gonna turn up weird like an inflatable Santa suit to your wedding. I mean, funny, but very briefly. Yeah. And then a lot of anger.
And
a lot of no more friendships.
No, it's generally pretty flexible. We're not...
I'm pretty flexible.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be much in the way of like coordination.
I hear you want a video game set up.
Oh yeah, I'm going to set up a little gaming space.
That's where Paul can help.
It's made beanbags and things like that. And get a Switch.
Beanbags or those weird stools that have a ball on the bottom, so you have to really focus while you sit.
I was actually thinking some of those cubes. Those like plushy cubes you can get.
Too comfortable. How about just a lawn spike?
Well, I think maybe like if I can find some cushions that look like the toads, that'd be pretty cool. But I don't imagine I can find them very easily. I think just some coloured cubes would be nice. This is now the wedding planning podcast.
It is. Okay, but that's well planned. We've done it. We've finished it. Yeah. Great work. I've had... the reason we're recording on Saturday is because I had no voice on Wednesday. And then I blinded myself.
How'd you do that?
A tree branch in my eye, and I could not see out of my eye for almost 2 days.
Did you go to the doctor?
No, because I've had similar injuries before. And I went to... the first time I did it was I ran a star picket directly into my eye socket by trying to pull it out of a tree stump. So you just imagine strong pressure on something that's solid steel that has a point on the end, straight up into the eyeball. And this was on a camping trip. I was in the middle of nowhere. And at first worry was that, have I popped my eyeball?
Oh, Jesus, man.
I had not.
I think they're actually pretty squishy, aren't they?
Pretty much.
Surprisingly
the thing
robust.
is, and I think that one actually is like, I think my body at least had the awareness to blink before the spike hit it.
Yes, good.
So I had a little cut on the eye, but not anything on the ball, and I couldn't really see out of it. It was just a mess. But I contacted the optometrist friend and like, check this. Worry if this happens, but otherwise just rest it. And it was fine. Same with this. I made some glasses and I blocked out one of the glasses because I was getting I weirdly couldn't drive. If I drived, both eyes would well up.
Really?
It was weird. They would just stream water and I could not drive. I had to pull over instantly and not kill anyone.
Okay.
But yeah, I just made some glasses that blocked out one eye and then I was fine.
Okay.
So learning, but now I'm fine. Then that was cleared up yesterday. So I'm in the wars. Good stuff. I also went to Canberra.
I was looking at your eye. It looks fine.
Really fine-ish. I mean, my eyes are always a bit weird.
Yeah, they're all squinty. You went to Canberra.
Drove to Canberra.
You drove to Canberra. I didn't realize you drove.
Lisa had to drive back. I got flown back because I couldn't spend the whole week down there.
Yeah. How long did you drive?
It's about 13 hours. It's a pretty easy drive, really.
Okay, a bit boring, I guess.
Yeah, we did it in 2 days. We could have done it in 1 day.
Nah, don't do that.
Someone else was driving and they didn't want to drive at night. I could have... I mean... I've done worse.
Yeah. I don't know.
And when we had 2 people in the car, so we could swap.
Yeah.
Which make it easier. Yeah, it's fine. We went down there for a political launch.
Oh, cool.
Which went well enough, but it's the same day as budget. So
kind of a bit ignored, or
a little bit. It got on news reporting and everything, but it's always hard to get messages out there. So, but this is not the politics show.
Although, or the wedding planning show.
I did call this week's document Budget 2019.
You did. I saw that.
It's what I've been really obsessed with. If anyone wants to have Australian political budgetary discussions, join the Discord. We'll make a special channel.
Make a special, yeah. Ozpol channel in there.
Exactly. I also saw Book of Mormon.
Oh yeah, so did I.
Yeah. But how close were you to the front?
About 4 or 5 rows back.
Loser.
You're closer, were you?
I'm always front row.
You're front row. See, I don't know if I'd like front row.
Oh, I love front row. But the thing is, I'm lying. I got second row this time because they do that thing that sometimes I used to do when I got front rows, which is they add a row in front of the front row at a certain time when they realize they can reconfigure the theater slightly.
Yeah.
So while we were AA, they added a BB. But I would have been front row.
Yeah, no.
I love front row. I love being able to see up people's knickers.
Well, see, where we were, I felt like I was close enough that I could see how expressive they were, but not so close I had to arc my neck and it got sore.
Oh, see.
I don't want to get spat on.
There's no arching.
Yeah.
There's no arching. Sometimes there's spitting.
Yeah.
Depending on the show. Hedwig and the Angry Inch, you might get some spitting in.
Yeah.
But what you also get is you're right next to the conductor.
I love that you made that reference as well.
Hedwig.
Hedwig and Angry Inch.
I love Hedwig.
I think who else? I think you and me know what that is.
That's a huge musical.
Is it? Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Well, okay, huge is overstating it, but it's certainly a notable musical.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually didn't even know it was a musical because I've only seen the movie.
Oh yeah, no, it's a musical.
Yeah.
I've seen it on stage twice. But yeah, you're also next to the conductor. And you can talk to the conductor. You don't be too much of it, and certainly not during the show. But you actually get to watch the band pit as well, and that's always an
being
extra
able to
thing.
see the band pit would be cool.
Yeah, band pit's cool, and I'm very much into the stagecraft, so I like being really close. And you do sometimes miss like perspective illusions that they do.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But most shows don't have stuff like that. I think there's 10 seconds of Wicked you miss if you're in the front row because they go behind you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that's really only like the dragon clock that moves. And everything else is like, nah, it's on the stage. You're fine.
Yeah.
Plus, you get to just look around at everything. I'm embracing a world of magical musicals. Yeah, Mormon was pretty good.
Yeah, I really liked it. It was about what I wanted it to be. Where I think whenever the Trey and Matt do anything Mormon related, I always like how they handle it with like a degree of respect.
Yeah, and it's also...
It's never mean-spirited, I feel. Like, they embrace the absurdity of Mormonism, but they're not mean-spirited about it.
And the story is also not about Mormonism. It's just using Mormonism because they're the group that will probably take the joke the best.
Yeah.
If you could do the exact same story with evangelical Christians, and they probably wouldn't be so friendly about it.
You're actually right. Like, it's... The Mormons, I guess they probably... Except there's just so much absurdity in their stories, more so than some others.
I don't know if they do. I think they're just more accepting of people's criticism of it.
Maybe that's it. Which is kind of what's nice about the way they present the Mormons, I guess. Like, they're just nice.
It's quite a compliment to them that they could make the musical about them, because other things would have been more of a scandal, I believe. I also enjoyed, like, it has... most musicals, I think, have a bad third act. This one, the conflict resolves itself in one sentence, just like so many musicals that like Avenue Q, which I just fucking hate the end of that show and all that sort of stuff. But the actual end of the story is probably the strongest I've seen in a musical in a long time. So I was happy with that.
I was like, it definitely had like a satisfying conclusion. I kind of liked it because it's one of those things where I realized the message as I got closer to the end. It's more like, here's a story. I'm like, oh, okay, and then it just comes together. I'm like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Like, you were kind of clever about how you set it all up and you executed it well. That was good.
Is it time for video games?
Yeah, I think we'll talk about some video games.
Okay.
I'll just check the chat quickly first, because CrossDog said, Canberra, what a dream, try Townsville.
I've been to Townsville.
Yeah, I think Townsville's all right.
Oh, wait, have I been
and
to
apparently
Townsville?
good to hear us, guys. Good to hear from you, CrossDog.
Hi, CrossDog. And if you want to join in on our random recording days, be sure to join our Discord.
with minutes, literally minutes of notice.
Yeah. We did not know we were recording today, and I have to be gone at a certain point to go to a bachelor party, which we're actually just going to a cinema to watch Ghostbusters.
Oh, that sounds good.
And then I think we're going out drinking afterwards.
Nice
See how long I last, as I am finding out this week I am literally falling apart.
Yeah, well, you're over 30 now, buddy. That's
I haven't even gone into like my bad shoulder or
yeah. See, it used to be like, I think before 30, if something's sore, I'm like, oh, something's wrong. Like if I wake up and my shoulder's sore or something, I'd be like, I probably should get that checked out. Now I'm just like, nah, I'm over 30. Shit just hurts.
I would have a joke about my sore shoulder and, well, actually a few things. I think my sore legs one, I'd say my legs are sore. And Lisa would say, how long ago? About 7 years so far. And I was not joking. It's like, they're pretty much always sore in one way or another.
Yeah.
I'm really bad on my shins. Got a lot of cuts. Anyway, video games. Well, this is why we like the shit we talk about here. Let's talk about the game that everyone wants to talk about. The big hit for all the cool hardcore gamers, Yoshi's Crafted World. I will briefly put in here, we're not going to talk about Sekiro because...
Well, I've just been watching
You've been
Cheryl
watching
play
Sekiro,
it. Yeah.
and I've been watching people on the internet play it because Sekiro, I don't have an interest in playing currently. Even though a lot of people have sold it to me as more accessible than Dark Souls, they then follow it up with, "Oh yeah, put 70 hours in so far."
Yeah, I've also been watching Cheryl get pretty frustrated.
Yeah.
And she's got a pretty high tolerance when it comes to like difficult games. And so when she's getting shitty at it and having to walk away, I'm like, oh.
But
that
James,
looks
I
real
can
hard.
tell you from talking to Cheryl about it, she doesn't remember that.
Oh. She's
just like, oh yeah, it's great.
yeah.
It's wonderful.
Oh, she loves it.
Yeah. But she has not once mentioned to me that she ever got frustrated with
Oh,
the game.
yeah, last night
Oh, no, it's
she
great.
was-
It just teaches you as you go
Yeah.
along, you just keep trying and then you'll get there eventually. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I believe everything you're
Yeah.
saying, Cheryl. Okay. We actually might talk about it a bit Sekiro
Yeah.
later because I do have thoughts about it even though I haven't played it. But yes, Yoshi.
Yes.
We both got Yoshi because we are huge Nintendo fanboys that are suckers and will buy anything Nintendo makes, even if it's a bullshit kiddie game for losers.
It is for babies.
There is a
Loser babies.
video out by a German games channel, which is two rocks beating Yoshi. They just throw some rocks onto the controller, and it beats the game. Now, it's not quite true. That won't get through every level, but we'll get through a lot of the levels.
Yes,
you put it on like the easy mode, which you can just fly the whole time, and you just push to the right, and you'll finish the level.
Which is fine. That's why they have like casual mode and standard mode.
That mode exists literally for, I'd say starting at like 3-year-olds.
Yeah, like so you could give this game to someone with basic motor skills.
Yeah, someone that can use
And they'll
a
play
control
it.
stick but can't use a control stick and a jump button at the same time. That's not. I assume you're not playing like that.
No,
it's
it's
hard
playing.
to know. It's hard to know with you, James.
No. Because I know with Yoshi games, there's like tiers. Same with like Kirby games. Like there's going to be the standard mode's going to be pretty simple, but there's going to be, if I want to get all the extra shit, then there's going to be more stuff to do that's more difficult. I'm not interested in getting the more difficult stuff, so I just do the standard stuff. I generally don't need the baby mode, but I'm glad that it's there for people who want it. Sure.
So this is kind of what I really, really appreciate about this game. It very much lets you tailor it to how you want to play it. Now, the only thing it's probably not going to give you is it's not going to give you a platforming challenge. There are very, very few platforming moments that require any skill. There are platforming moments that require thought about how to move through them, but not...
It's not a Mario game.
Yeah, there's no real dexterity needed. There's no like perfect pixel jumping or anything or crazy timing. It's all pretty straightforward. That said, as James said, the collectibles, which are the big thing, so you've got to get all the flowers, you've got to get through with all your life, you've got to get through with... and there's 20 hidden red coins in each level. And very quickly...
And some of them are pretty craftily hidden.
Oh, God, yeah. I know, because I was basically trying to 100% everything as I go through. And even in the probably end of the first world, I started hitting ones that took me a couple of goes of running through the level to find everything. And a few things that are one-offs that if you don't hit it the first time, you've got to redo the entire level and stuff. So it's really a game that's more about observation and how much you want to pay attention to the world and interact with it. And then the gatekeeping to move on to new worlds and everything becomes about how many flowers you've got. Now, if you've got young kids, the limit is super low. I've never had more than, less than 4 times the required amount of flowers. It's ridiculous. But if you're just a young kid that's played through, collected 1 or 2 very obvious flowers, got to the end... once you've beaten a level, you then go through the same level backwards, and they flip the entire world around because the whole world is made out of paper crafts.
Which I really appreciate.
Not paper crafts, sorry, just craft.
Yeah, which I really appreciate because the back of it is not...
Yeah, it's not finished.
It was never meant to be looked at.
Yeah.
So I really love that you can read the back of cereal boxes and see the nutrition things on cans. They've gone to a lot of effort with their products that everything's based on.
Yeah, it's got a great attention to detail to all of that stuff. And you can see how it's constructed as well.
Yeah.
They've physically made everything in the space.
The bit that sold me on the art style was very early on in the water level. Because it was at some point when you're a kid, you've gotten some blue craft paper and made a water diorama.
Yes.
It wasn't trying to make you feel like you're underwater. It was trying to make you feel like you were in that craft diorama you made as a kid. And that was when the aesthetic really kind of clicked for me. It's I
think they've got crab paper plates there. Which is a pretty common one to make and stuff like that.
And I felt that it's a video game, so they could have done something to make this feel more like water, because it's the water level. But no, it's not. It's the craft water level. It's the craft diorama you made with your crab plates.
And every level
or your balloon fish with paper mache balloon fish.
And every level's pretty much, other than enemies that will reappear, all the art seems custom for every level and every space. It's like, no, we're doing this now, so we've created how we would do that. Like, there's a lot of thought and design in all of it, and that becomes important because, so you play through the level normally, play through the level backwards and collect 3 dogs that are their poochies. And this is geared more at the younger audience, but if you're also just bored and like, I want to spend some time in this world, then in each world there's a little robot character who'll say, oh, I saw that this level had a bunch of crabs in it. Go and find them for me. So you open up the level again, and then you're literally moving through it, looking in the foreground and background, and sometimes hidden, to find just these objects. It's just a hidden object game at that point. And once you find them, you can it just says, hey, you want to leave the level now? It's fine. And I actually don't know how many, because I thought it would just be 1 per level. So I sort of did it, and then I just started getting extra ones. So I don't do that one now. So I actually think there's a lot of repeated content. Repeatable content.
Yeah, kind of repurposed content.
Yeah, and especially since it is appreciating the design, that's a big part of the game. As I say, the game's more about observation and seeing how things interact and what you can do. I think that really leverages it really well. And I am pitching this as something that generally is for younger people. But also, if you're an adult with a young kid, you can co-op this.
Well, that's what I've mainly played it as, with co-op. So Cheryl and I have been playing through it. So I've played a bit by myself first, and then played it co-ops. And it is a very different experience, because you get a few more abilities. Like, it gets easier with 2 people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, for example, if you jump on the back of someone, you just get unlimited eggs. You just throw them as much as you want. But what I was impressed by was that with 2 people, you can jump extra high, because just one person can jump, then the other person can jump and flutter, and then you can get quite a long way. So you can actually sequence break the level. But it's fine. It's like it all copes with it. Like, it's like you can actually just skip whole parts of the level if you really want to, and it's cool. Like, it's not gonna, you're not gonna break the game at all. I appreciated that. It wasn't like there's one particular bit where there was like this really high jump that I could reach, and they could have easily just chucked up a wall or something, invisible wall or something like that to stop it from happening. But like, no, like, jump up there. Yeah, like, that's fine.
If you're entering this as someone that's doing tricky platforming jumps, I mean, more power to you.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm actually taking my time with it quite a lot. What I find weird is, like, the graphics don't quite hit for me. I had the same comment with the demo. It just seems like a little bit low res, a little bit not sharp enough for what it is.
I kind of know what you're saying. Like, it does, like, it's not as good as, say, Mario Odyssey, which just looks amazing. This, I think you can see the limitations of the hardware a bit more on this.
What I find weird, though, is whenever a boss is introduced, and it's like the sort of stop motion introduction, it's still in engine, it's still in game. It looks fucking amazing. Yeah. Like, the whole game looked like this. What did you do different? All you did was move the camera slightly. We didn't go to a cutscene. Like,
it could be that it's so heavily textured.
Yeah.
And it's just the text resolution isn't there. So it might just be that.
Yeah.
But
it still looks nice.
Oh, it still looks nice, yeah. I mean, I think, because I've mainly been playing on the TV as well, and I think I'm going to notice it a lot more than if you're playing handheld. But yeah, I think.
But then you get better resolution on the TV anyway.
Yeah, I actually don't know. Like, they'll probably be running it at a higher resolution on the TV. But yeah, no, I'm having a good time with it.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I sort of really recommended it to Callum at work because he's got a very young child, and that's like, there's always the when. It's like preschool age. It's like, well, you're interested in games, but you're still trying to, like, when I was trying to play games with my nephews and I didn't really understand that they didn't understand the concept of jumping. Yeah. I'm like, just push the fucking button.
Yeah. But I think even if you, like, it works out for someone like me, because I'm not that into platforming. And I know it's going to be an experience which is not really going to frustrate me. Like, probably wouldn't get a Mario game because I know they tend to be much, like...
Yes.
There's some very difficult platforming that goes on in those games, which is fine. But I know if I get, especially like a Kirby or a Yoshi, I'm kind of expecting them to just be a little bit easier on that kind
chill.
Yeah. But there'll be a whole bunch of creative ideas, It's going to be like, it'll be a fun experience that's not going to stress me out too much.
Well, yeah, the creative art focus, I think, is really what you're showing up for most of the time in here. And I do just like staying observant to get all the secrets. there can be fun little ideas and gimmicks and jokes, and yeah, I'm just enjoying it.
Yeah, like when you see like a little butterfly moving in a bush, and you knock the bush, and there's like a little enemy behind it with a stick. Just little things like that. I actually think like I was trying to think like what artistically to compare it to, and the closest I could think was like Little Big Planet. Was like that kind of crafty thing, but it pulls off this physicality of like this is crafted things a lot better than I feel like Little Big Planet does. Like Little Big Planet, it feels a bit more. It's a fantasy world made out of craft, where this feels like, oh, I'm on the set of Play School and I'm playing with a bunch of things.
Yeah,
it's a different kind of.
I kind of wish it had a slight stop motion-y effect to the animation.
Oh, yeah.
You'd probably hate it, but I think it would.
Yeah.
I would really get in on that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
It'd be interesting.
Just chop out the frames.
Yeah.
Oh, man, they could patch it in. It's like,
it'd be super simple. Yeah,
it's like
just add like a stop motion mode.
Just kind of.
Just skip every second frame of animation. Don't interpolate it.
Skip 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we go. Okay, so yes, that is Yoshi's Crafted World, only on Switch. Good. Let's talk about some news.
Go for it.
Let's get into it. Apple Arcade. We mentioned it.
Oh, yes. I'm very interested in this one, particularly because it's touching on my sphere of development, which is mobile development. Okay, big news from Apple. They've got a subscription service coming, which is, they're going to have like the TV, they've got magazine, and they're also going to have subscription mobile games.
Don't forget credit card.
Oh, yeah, the credit card one I actually thought was like, yeah, we're not going to look at credit cards. It was a bit weird. The credit card sounded all right. Like, I was looking at it like, I guess, like...
Someone pointed out we used to have these like anti-monopoly laws that stop people from like taking a chunk of the market in every part of a chain, and we seem to be forgetting about those now. Gotta get my Steam credit card.
Yeah, that Apple credit card thing was a bit strange, but
I hear that Steam's going to be exclusive to the Epic Games Store.
Oh, that'd be so good. That would have been the April Fools. Oh, they should have done that.
That would have been
Steam
good.
Now coming exclusively to the Epic Game Store, and just like have so you launch it through. Oh, that would have been beautiful. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Anyway, so this Apple Arcade thing. So what it is, I think it's coming out September, and they're going to have 100 games. I think they said, which you'll be able to download for a amount. They haven't said what the subscription's going to be yet. I don't know if all of them, at least some of them, are kind of like Apple has kind of funded them.
Well, it's interesting because they said that they were all Apple exclusive, but at least half the games shown off some of them are out elsewhere. But
so
also
maybe,
multi-platform known as. So maybe they just meant in the Apple space, but maybe they also just meant that Apple Arcade was the only way you can play them on Apple. As in, you can't go and buy these games piecemeal. You can only play them through the subscription. And I suppose that half goes into, sorry to shift cast a little bit here, this was this issue with Apple Arcade and Stadia especially, that whilst these showed their concepts, neither of them went into the business of it. And we, I don't know if we mentioned on the show, but the talk before the Apple Arcade was announced was that they were going to pay the developers on time played. Now, that has not been shown to be true. It also hasn't been shown to be false. It was a worrying idea because if you only got paid the more people physically played your game, well, that very much dictates the kind of game you would design.
Yes.
But then also all these games they're very big on saying that the games coming to Apple Arcade, they have no microtransactions, they have no timers, they have none of. Well, I think they have none of those trappings.
Everything's like it's played offline.
Yep.
It's like no kind of analytics or tracking or any of that kind of stuff.
Lots of security focus.
No, so they're really pushing for. In this platform, you can give this to your kids. They're not going to be tracked. They're not going to be sold anything. Which, if that turns out to be something that parents especially want, that they can just go, I'm just going to spend, just say $8 a month. I don't know, pick a random number out. $8 a month. $300 a month. I think even $10 a month, whatever.
We'll split the difference.
Yeah. And I know that my kid can play all these games. They're not going to get tracked. I have to worry about any kind of advertising, because part of the problems with advertising in mobile games is you can have stuff slip through that's not kid appropriate. Don't have to worry about any of that. Don't have to worry about any exploitive practices to kind of get money out of them. So I can see how that's like a pretty appealing thing for a bunch of parents.
And also for, say, parents that are like us, that are, I'm going to call us gamers.
Yeah.
That are gamers, and we sort of care about games traditionally as an art form and everything. So many kids grow up with basically these free-to-play, time-based, like not really any challenge-based, just like gambling-style games as the only thing they play. Well, Apple Arcade is kind of focused on the exact opposite.
Yes, yeah.
They're like, these are the experiences that would normally be premium titles that would sell 3 copies on iTunes because that's not what the market is. So they're trying to create a marketplace that actually accepts those games.
Yeah.
Like the first game they showed was a sequel to Beneath a Steel Sky.
That blew my mind because I didn't realize it at first. I was like, because I think it's like Beyond.
They call it Beyond a Steel Sky.
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw that, I'm instantly on Google. I'm like, the fuck?
Because I saw it, I'm like, oh, that looks kind of, it sounds like it, but no one would make a sequel to Beneath a Steel Sky. Who would do that? It's madness.
It's what, 25, 30 years old now?
Yeah, and like, it's just not a thing. Like
a sci-fi adventure game based in Australia?
Yeah. Why?
I mean, we loved it.
Oh, yeah. It just blew my mind that was their opening as well.
Yeah.
Like, oh, by the way.
But weirdly, they didn't mention it was a sequel to Beneath the Steel Sky. They're just like, oh, here's a new game Beyond the Steel Sky. And it was for the 1%. That were like, oh my god, I hope Joey's back. Oh.
Well, I assume you still play Foster.
Don't know.
I don't know.
I literally, they didn't really detail many of the games. They just showed, they did a lot of focus on developers, like showing like, oh, it's very positive and doing that.
Yeah, because the angle they were playing was like, we want to give developers the freedom to just do shit.
Make a good game.
Yeah, like, you know, we want you to give you a platform where you can do something creative and just do something unique. I mean, from like the developer's perspective, from my perspective, there's like, I've been wanting something like this for a while. Like, as a platform, I like mobile games. Like, I find like, I like working small scope. I like working on things that get done in 6 to 12 months. Like, it's just a platform I enjoy. I like the idea of making something which is really tight, really refined, and kind of single experience. It's just, I like it. It's what I like to do. But for me to do that at the moment in the mobile space is difficult because in order to make money, you have to be quite exploitive. You have to kind of, it's tricky.
I was actually thinking about like the birth of mobile games today. And it was because you used to work in poker machines.
Yes.
And, there's a lot of psychology involved in poker machines. Like, okay, well, they really like the penguin animation, so work on that and everything. And really, at a certain point in game development where the designers and games just went, well, what if we just didn't ever give them money? It's just we just take away the payout because we can't do that. Then it's technically gambling. But we can keep everything else.
Yeah.
And that's the whole game that they're playing with. And there's lots of people. There's lots of ways to try and combat, but you need to keep it at a degree. It's a big. But then to have a marketplace that allows you to make stuff that you don't need it because I'm just going off my feelings here. This isn't based on anything. But when they're talking about time played, I kind of wonder if that's like, oh, we just pay people based on the number of downloads they get, and they got to play like 15 minutes before they actually get paid out because we don't. We don't want people just gaming the system by, hey, everyone download everything, and we want the games that people actually play to get paid. Because if they're launching with 100 games, that's a lot of developers to split money between. If there's just unpopular games and popular games there,
how much is actually there?
I really, really like the idea. I just want the details.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. Like, I want mobile gaming to be fixed just because it's a platform I love so much. And at the moment, it's in a bad state.
Yeah.
And so if this becomes... Because if this works, I assume Google will do a similar thing. And if it becomes more of a... there's some mechanism there to make a game that you don't have to rely on exploitive practices... I'm sure those exploitive practices, because there will be some people who will just never want to pay anything for a game.
Oh, of course.
And so then, because it's an element of pride. When I speak to people about playing mobile games, they will be proud of not paying money.
That always blows my mind.
Yeah, it's like you've been playing this thing for say 100 hours, whatever, while you're pooping.
And they complain about the ads. You can just pay $1 and get rid of the ads.
I don't spend money in mobile games. Yeah, this is why I get such conflicting. Like, I have such personal I don't know what the word for, the dissidence of on one hand, I want to make it something for consumers that is they would just pay for and they'd be happy with, but it's so hostile selling to that consumer. They're so entitled. When it turns around, it's like, okay, this isn't going to work. Because ideal world, anyone that makes a mobile game just wants to go, look, $5, just $5, and you can have it and you can play it and everyone's happy. But you can't do that, and so. What's the alternative? Well, you have to find another way to make money, and your sympathy kind of diminishes because internally you want to make the thing that you just give them the money and then you're done. Instead, it's like, no, I have to find a way to trick you. And it's kind of on you because you're proud of not paying money. So what do you want?
Also, because no one buys on mobile, if a game is on mobile, it tends to be cheaper.
Yeah.
Which is, and here's my confession. The only reason I ever buy on mobile, if it's like when Gorogoa came out, I was going to buy it PC and it's actually only, it's like $20 on PC. It's $8 on iOS. I can play this on iPad. I already did once.
No, I was the same. I'm like, there are games to look at. It's like, I could just get it cheaper on my phone because that market's different, but they're still selling. Which is, I kind of like it when, like, with Civ 6, when they were like, no, or Square do it as well.
Yeah, they release pretty full price.
No, you're going to pay $20, $30 for this Final Fantasy game because that's what it's worth. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's hard to kind of point at, like, who is kind of to blame for all this.
Apple.
It kind of is. but because they came in with their 99-cent app, and that just screwed developers. But then also that launched the app space, and that was really before games. Like 99 cents for an app which does one thing that a lot of people are going to buy is kind of okay.
Yeah. When games were Doodle Jump.
Yeah, the 99 cents.
99 cents was fine.
It's okay. Like it's like you're paying for an arcade experience.
How many hundreds of thousands of Doodle Jumps can we have?
Yeah, and so like it kind of in the early days made sense, but now it's like. Then it became you couldn't make the 99 money from the 99-cent price point, so you have to go free, and then it all kind of went from there. It's just kind of like this. So hopefully Apple Arcade is something which will go right. We can have.
I'm approaching it optimistically.
Yeah, I'm hoping it just fixes as much as it can the mobile space.
It's very interesting because the other thing when I was mentioning about not doing the business, that's the thing with Stadia as well, because there's a lot of negative feelings out about Stadia, and we didn't really reflect those when we were talking about it last week, but. I'm not ready to be negative about it because we just straight up don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it's strongly indicating that it'll just be a store and you buy games. That seems crazy to me. But, it's also one of those, and lots of people won't be served by it. It's like, yeah, but that's the point. If we don't start technology going, it will never get better and serve everyone. Yeah, it's not the solution that's going to fix everyone go there, but...
They need a Steam partnership. That gives
us
good. We've just partnered with Steam. By the way, you can now play your entire library. That'd be amazing.
Stadia,
that would just be all right. They've just won. Like, why would I not use that service?
Yeah, they're going to need to do something to.
Or at this point, they partner with Epic.
I was just about to say that as a joke. I'm like, nah, I've already done the Epic Game Store joke today.
We get one. Do we get one each?
Yeah,
is this how it's going to work?
I thought it was well done.
Yeah,
I'm just very excited about these new avenues
because
like especially if you've listened to the show ever, I play a lot of bullshit indie games. It's very hard to get people to look at those because they're still like $15 and like I'm not going to spend that. But if they were just subscribed to a service where they could just go look at them,
someone might actually go play Beyond a Steel Sky.
They might do.
Like it might actually someone can make a game like that. Yeah, 'cause I want it to be like the Netflix of gaming. Like I want all this. Like we have like Sabrina the Teenage Witch horror remakes, which I don't think would happen without Netflix. Like or Fuller House. Aren't you glad that we have Fuller House?
I've
never watched Fuller House either. But I'm really glad these things can exist.
Yeah,
and that's I want a space like that in games, and I feel like the Apple Arcade is kind of shaping up to be that space a bit.
Okay, time to move on. Apple Arcade. It's a thing that will happen probably. There was a Nintendo Nindies showcase. Still don't know why we have to say that word.
Nindies.
It's also not new. It's been around since the Wii, but people forget. And they're like, oh no, it's new. They call them Nindies. They've done that for like a decade now. Shut up. Okay, so they announced a few things. They announced Cuphead coming to the Switch. Overland, My Friend Pedro, blah, 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 blah. Darkwood, I was quite excited about.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
Which is top-down horror game. I don't know if I actually funded it, because I think it was Kickstarter for a while.
I know we chatted to them.
Yeah.
Acid Wizard or something?
Yeah. Nice guys, and I thought the game was really good. It's a couple of roguelike elements, but very creepy. Great atmosphere. There was I want to mention this because it looked awful. There was a game called Pine, and it had like a cool intro, like sort of a fantasy world, everything, like a video, and then they showed some gameplay that was cut up, and the segments of gameplay they chose were fucking like it's an open world action game, and they just like randomly cut to a horse about to just ride directly into a tree or something, like nothing, like no actions happening, just like it looked like really janky. And I wanted to find that footage today, but I had to rewatch the direct to get that footage. But there's just like lots of gameplay videos out, and the game looks fine.
It's just bad video.
But the video they put on,
weird.
it was low frame rate and just like random shots of like, oh, here's a character getting hit from off screen and falling over. Like, put that together. I don't know how good the game will be, but man, they put some bad footage in that direct. The game looks like it could be okay. But the big one, I don't think there's. So Vambly is bringing a bunch of their games. Nuclear Throne, Super Crate Box is there, but they're also launching Vambly Arcade on there. And so it's going to be a collection of small arcade games that Vambly will be making and keep adding to the collection.
That's cool.
I think the first game's called Ultra Bugs.
It's good because that's what they do best. Little arcade experiences.
I think Raimi already regrets calling it Ultra Bugs because he just has been getting people making jokes about there being a lot of bugs in the new game.
Yeah.
And he's sick of it already.
Yeah.
Think about that when you're naming games. Will it have an irritating joke attached to it? Okay, but the big one, at the end, they started showing off Crypto the Necrodancer. And this is one of those things where I get really high and mighty when I listen to other podcasts and stuff. Because I've heard it reported at least 2 places. Crypto the Necrodancer is coming to Switch. I'm like...
It's already there,
fuckers, it's been there for 2 fucking years now. Do you guys you watch the eShop every day? What is wrong with you? So basically, Crypto the Necrodancer is getting something of a sequel. They are making a new Zelda game. Licensed Nintendo Zelda game called Cadence of Hyrule. And it's Crypto the Necrodancer style gameplay. We don't know exactly if it's exactly the same concept, but it
looks pretty similar.
Still beat movement and stuff like that. I don't know if it's going to have the random generation or fixed world, or we'll find out as we work out more. But it's all classic Zelda music remixed into their style and everything. It still has the Crypto the Necrodancer character in it, but you can also play as Link or Zelda. They seem to have different abilities, but it's like they've straight up given Zelda to a small indie team.
That's so cool.
It's like,
rad.
I'm
actually not that big on Necrodancer. Just like thematically, I've never been that into it.
I liked it. I didn't love it.
Yeah, I'm more interested in this. I think because it's going to tickle a few more nostalgia bones.
Very rigid version. It's going to be great.
Yeah. So I'm actually I'm more interested in that than I am just the base game.
Yeah, it looks good. Well, I mean, it's a standalone game.
Yeah.
But it is weirdly done. Like, even when I looked it up again, the title is like Crypto the Necrodancer featuring Link and Zelda in Cadence. So some people people think it's like a DLC. Something like, no. As far as everything else, it's a complete standalone game. Just has some weird branding on it.
Yeah, they should have just let's go with Cadence of Hyrule. It's a good name.
Yeah, like, just ignore the other stuff.
Just go with that.
Yeah.
Necrodancer tale, maybe put that at the end or something like that.
So there's a bunch of games, but nothing really to go into there. We also got to see our first look at Nintendo VR stuff on a separate day,
which has just been
because we joked about it last time because we saw the pictures and we saw looking up the bird's ass and because it's Labo, so it's all these weird contraptions. You held up an elephant face and there was a trunk on it, and then they showed the actual game stuff. Did you actually watch this, James?
No, I haven't.
It's fucking tremendous. Yeah. I looked at it and I'm like, oh god, because so. That game where you look through an elephant's face and it has a trunk. What is that game?
I assume you'd be doing waving the trunk around, hitting things or something.
That's how they do their tracking for their. It does a few games, but the main one's basically Tilt Brush. So the art game is wearing the elephant's face.
Oh, okay. So you're drawing with the trunk.
Yeah. So it has the 2 points of articulation as you move around, so it can track it easier. Because obviously it doesn't have cameras to track where the controllers are. Then it's the bird's ass is a flying game. But there's actually another accessory that I think something does plug. It must take a Joy-Con in it as well, just to detect. But it's just a kick drum pedal with a big flap on it. And not only is that just something for you to kick down to give yourself a boost, the big flap is just to make wind.
Oh, so it blows in your face.
So when you jump or zoom forward in these different games, you just go whoosh, and you get the physical sensation on you. I'm like, that's cute as fuck.
Yeah, that's cool.
There's a gun attachment, so there's a bunch of shooting games. There's it's really robust. There's a lot of games and a lot of they just say, oh, it's also good. It's got I don't know. I'm going to pull a number out of my ass. 68 other experiences on there. And they just call them experiences because they're just little tech demos.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that we also forget: Labo. Labo's about making games. It's a full 3D VR game creator in there.
Jesus.
I'm like, I know this tracking is not going to be it's not even going to be half as good as PSVR. It's going to make me sick.
Oh, you'll get the VOMs.
but holy fuck, is this robust? Is this cool? I was super impressed with it. I'm like, I might actually want to try and acquire this somehow. You can buy just the VR goggles without all of the accessories,
bits,
but the accessories seem like
I think you kind of
but that said, there is another use just to buy the base version that just has the goggles, because they've also added VR support to Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild.
That blew my mind.
They've done different things.
I'm skeptical how this is going to work, but I'm real curious.
I think Breath of the Wild will be sickness-inducing terribleness.
Yep.
One, the frame rate's not consistent in Breath of the Wild to begin with.
Yeah.
Two, you're just playing the game in VR. I don't even know how you hold it to your face because there's no straps on that piece
that's
of
what
cardboard.
I was wondering,
I suppose you just have to
like
play
this?
it with your hands in front of your face. But the Mario Odyssey is actually new levels.
Okay, cool.
So you're thinking more Astrobot.
Yeah.
You're thinking more like,
that makes more sense to me.
Yeah, you're in fixed positions looking around and So I was like, oh, okay, that seems like that'd be really good. Breath of the Wild, I will load up for 2 minutes and then I will go.
And then you will lie down for 15. Yep.
Yeah, but them putting stuff into other games just seems like madness to me. It's like, guys, the Labo is good. The Labo is well above and beyond, but you're still the weakest piece of hardware.
Yeah.
VR is not light on fucking requirements.
You need a high frame rate.
Yeah, you can't compete with it. Yeah.
You need a high resolution screen. It reminds me a lot of the old Acid Eye thing from Metal Gear Acid.
Oh, yeah.
Where you had, you could slip your PSP and it worked okay. You could see that and you could play with this thing on your face, play your Metal Gear.
They just need to add some Virtual Boy games to the Nintendo Online.
That's what I was what I really wanted to see was a Labo Virtual Boy, which just was a papercraft version of the Virtual Boy. You just slip it in, and you just play like that. That'd be amazing.
And it is kind of weird that hasn't been announced because that seems
it seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah,
just go Virtual Console,
pack it in with the thing. Yeah. Oh yeah. You just put it. You just put it on Nintendo Online.
Yeah.
So it gives someone a reason to subscribe to that, and then also people that are subscribed to then go at least just buy the headset version.
Yeah.
It's like, oh well, I thought I could just get it for that, and then I thought I wanted that stupid bird game, and because I just dream about sticking my head up a bird's ass. We also got new VR from Valve. They've announced the Valve Index, which we do not know a whole lot about. I'm fine with the name.
I have no problem with the name, but well, I guess when I hear the word index, it conjures up nothing to do with any kind of visualization or VR.
I think it was you that, before we realized that it was a VR headset, you said, is this just a device for searching through your Steam library?
Oh, yeah.
Which I was like, oh, I could use that.
Yeah.
Helped me greatly. So we find out more about that coming up. But they basically, the page accidentally leaked and they went into it. But we don't know the prices. You still need base stations. And that seems to be the bit of the battle at the moment. Mm-hmm. Both the new Oculuses do not require base stations. It's all inside-out tracking.
Yep.
But still, having base stations is regarded as the more accurate way of doing it. Mm-hmm. So we'll see in the long run. But I'm getting really interested in other VR. Mm-hmm. But I think I was saying to you, I'm basically waiting for all these guys to be out. And then I'm waiting to see what Sony does. Because I would not be surprised if PS5, whilst it's not going to pack in VR in the base version. I would not be surprised if the launched PlayStation VR does have a version that packs in VR.
I wouldn't be surprised either. Yeah. I think that they've done so well with PSVR in its current state. Mm-hmm. It just seems like having more powerful hardware. Another, they would have been iterating on it now for 4 or 5 years. Because when was PSVR out? PSVR out 3 years ago.
I think about 3-4 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a lot of R&D time to kind of get this thing running really well.
And they've proven business wise that it's successful. Yep. I think it was 4 million they've sold so far, which isn't as many as PS4s, but this is a new thing that we're selling people on.
The games actually make money. It's actually if you want to make money in VR, the best place to go at the moment is PSVR.
Yep.
So it's a proven thing. It's working. So I'm really hope. Yeah,
I expect them to not support old PSVR and just say, nah, we're not using Move controllers anymore. We're not doing any stuff. Yeah. We're doing this now that we've proven we can do it.
We bought all these old Kinects.
Oh god, because you know what? Kinect combined with VR technology, it would actually be fucking great.
Yes, it would. We got your full body tracking.
Because they're doing, Harmonix is doing a new, Dance Central.
Yeah.
And it's, I think it's Oculus exclusive, but obviously it's only going to be able to track your head and your hands. It's like, that's why we need the Connect back. We can do proper Dance Central again. Get those funky moves rolling.
Yep.
Okay, well, we have moved on from the Switch. Let's just quickly go back to the very, very strong rumors that we are getting new Switch hardware. Mm-hmm. We're getting 2 new Switch hardware from most reports. We're getting a portable-only version, and we're getting a Pro version. And what that means, we don't know yet. And we don't know timelines or anything.
Yeah.
But it seems from most reports that is very, 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 very likely.
Yeah, I think given already the games have to run in 2 power modes, so they already have to counter for like just portable or TV. It kind of makes sense. You could actually just go, let's just have a low power one, which costs less, and you just don't get you don't have to worry about any of the extra. Yeah,
well, the low power one from rumors, highlighting the word rumors, is that they don't have the HD rumble in the controllers,
which I could live without anyway.
But also the controls aren't removable. That's just a single unit that's more robust.
Yep.
It's geared more towards like the market the 2DS was in, which is strong. Someone that just wants a portable device. The weird thing is, like, when you offer these 2 things in front of me, I don't know which one I want more.
Well, because for me, I definitely get the one you can play on the TV, because that's where I play most of my Switch. But you don't.
And I actually take my Switch a lot of places with me.
But Paul, how are you going to take off the controllers so you can use your sideways boy, whatever that thing's called?
Oh, my flip grip.
Yeah, your flip grip.
You see, that doesn't even matter because you also have to think about, I'm on a plane, I put my Switch in front of me.
And you pop it off.
And I literally sit with my arms folded like that. I play up near my head.
Yeah.
And I have to actually put my arms down. No, I don't like that. I got big, broad shoulders. I like to.
See, I'm a tiny man. I just lounge out and get all loosey goosey.
On the way back from Canberra, it was the night before budget release.
Yeah.
Maybe a third of the plane, if that. Had the entire row to myself. Nice. I had 5 empty seats next to me.
I've had that on like international flights before.
Oh, very nice.
It was like, I think it was Cheryl and I. We were on it was like an 8-hour trip, and it was like mainly empty. It was like maybe a quarter full, and we were just like, I'm just gonna nap right there. Just pull up all the seats. I'm going to sleep.
Oh,
so it's good. Amazing.
Yeah, I do like an empty plane.
But yeah, this this makes a lot of sense. I think it'd be a very clever way to use the dual power mode. It's just maybe that was the plan from the start. Like, well, we need to have a version which will run on cheaper hardware, because eventually there's going to be a version that will only run on that cheaper hardware. Yeah,
I expect the cheap version would come out first and come out in time for Pokemon.
Yes, yep, 100%. That would make all the sense. And they'd be like, all right, anyone's got a 3DS,
time for an upgrade.
This is an upgrade. Maybe it costs an extra $50. Then done. Here you go. Play your new Pokemons.
Oh, we've done hilarious April Fool jokes. Oh, I've got this in the. We had one more VR story, and we moved on.
We can go back because I've got VR talk as well.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, it doesn't matter. such a wild show we've got going on here. We have VR coming to one other legacy game. No Man's Sky is adding full VR.
Oh, yes.
It's a free update. It's part of their next update, which has a big multiplayer component and also something that's yet to be revealed. But already it's like, big multiplayer stuff because I think it's really upping the player count in local areas.
The big thing they need to get is just persistence to bases on planets.
I think that's sort of where things are pushing.
That's because last time I played the online stuff, it was really fun, like playing around with other people, but it was just didn't work. Like the base is tied to you, so if you disconnect, the base disappears. There's no like shared community bases. It just the experience wasn't there. You could tell like, all right, this is a stepping stone to getting where they need to be. So the moment we can go, I'm going to pick a planet. There's enough planets for everyone. Let's set up over here, and then we're just going to build a big base, and like. That sounds fun. Like it's
so VR mode. It's just you can just turn on VR mode. It's not a separate game mode. You just keep playing your own game in it. About the only thing that I'm like, okay, that'll be interesting, but I expect like most things where it's hacked in, it's just like not really going to last more than 15 minutes. Thank you. This VR is to the extent that you get in the cockpit of your ship, and those controls are motion because it's on PSVR, but it's also on coming to the Steam version. They're motion control interactable. Yeah. I push that button, I pull the throttle back. I go, here we go, we're going into space. We push the space engine button. Oh, isn't that the fantasy?
Well,
Coconut things in there?
As someone who loves space, I am super excited for this. I love Zen chill out space games. This is why I've put probably close to 150 hours into Elite Dangerous.
Fuck me.
Which is nothing but jumping from star to star. Like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just like...
Bloop.
Okay, and then it's like, what's that? Frame shift jive. Engaged. Warp, warp, warp. Land at the sun. Scoop it. Get fuel. Jump. And I could do that for about 4 hours. And I'm just doing nothing but jump.
We're different people, you and I.
Jump. And I'm just having a great time. I'm just like totally chill. Looking at stars. I'm like, oh, there's a planet over there. I'm just going to go land on it. Get down, get in my little buggy. It's got low gravity. I'm hooning around. Like, take a look at the pretty sky. Get back in.
Aww.
It's a road trip game. And if I can do that with like No Man's Sky, which has a far more visually interesting planet system than Elite Dangerous has, doesn't quite have the level of authenticity because that's one of the things Elite really nails, like just how the ship sounds, like just like the little, like it makes the noises you'd expect a car would make, like, you know, just those little subtle sounds.
Some of the noises in my car are not subtle,
but it's like
I am dying in that car.
It's like, whereas like, if you jump into like other space games I've played, like No Man's Sky, it's more like, oh no, I mean, like, this is a video game. I'm not in a spacecraft. I'm in like this virtual cockpit thing. But yeah, I just like, in terms of like visual things to look at, No Man's Sky is just amazing. I'm curious how the locomotion goes. That's a bit that I'm not 100% on.
I mean, at least from what I've heard, with the cockpit stuff, they're putting thought into stuff. So whether or not it works overall, I just don't expect. I don't think it's a quick hack in.
Yeah,
I think it's been put in with at least with some thought, and we'll see how successful it is. Yeah. I'm going to have to get another copy of it, I think. Have a look.
Yeah, well, if you were lucky enough to like buy this game when everyone hated it, you could have bought it for like probably $12 somewhere.
Yeah.
Where now it's like, oh no, it's good now. I think the price has gone up, and they keep giving stuff for free. They're just like, just like the base game. They're like, I'm just going to keep it. At no point have they gone, all right, this is a paid expansion. And at this point, they could. I think there's enough goodwill there that now they could say, okay, look, you know, we fixed the base game. That $60 you paid, you know, 4 years ago, you're getting your money's worth now. This next block.
I don't think they would risk it. I think they would be terrified of the response if they ever did that.
They're in such like, they've done, the comeback experience from that game is phenomenal. And they probably could very quickly turn it.
Oh yeah. They pay for something that was at some point promised in the original game, and oh my god, here it goes.
Because if there's anything we've been learning recently about all these live service games, is it's real easy to make yourself the hate flavor of the month.
Oh yeah, but then also, how much of the community is that ever? That's always the painful thing. The realizing how relevant we can be. That can take us onto Borderlands 3.
Oh yes.
That actually sounded meaner than it was.
Yeah.
but I will get onto the relevance of that later in the story. Okay, so at PAX, East, West?
One of them. PAX,
one of them, East or West.
PAX direction.
They announced Borderlands 3 in one of the craziest shows that has ever been seen.
Oh, that was amazing, wasn't it?
Randy Pitchford, alleged fan of child pornography and embezzler of money. Alleged.
Let's be very clear.
Definitive fan of magic.
We do not have to allege he's fan of magic.
No. He's definitively
a fan of magic.
And past fan of medieval times. And interest shower in USB security systems. Got out in front of everyone despite the last year. Said, look at me. I'm going to come out of the stage. Don't worry about it.
You want to see some magic?
Yep, that's what he did for 25 minutes.
Yep.
He got up, said, here's some magic. Here you go.
This is what you're here for.
Well, now that the magic's completed, it's time to show you some trailers. Here's a trailer for Borderlands 1 HD coming to all new stuff. Yay! Ran at like 5 frames a second. Sounds all stuttery. Oh, shit. Okay. Here's a...
Let's watch it again, because I don't think apparently they fixed it.
No, I don't think they did those ones again.
Oh, yeah.
Then they showed the Handsome Jack collection. Same deal. It's got a 4K texture upgrade and everything. I believe these updates are just free on PC.
Yeah, I've already checked them out.
So it's just
the textures look really nice. Yeah, they've done a good job
making it look a little bit more modern and run on the newer consoles. Because I think before it was only with backwards compatibility. You were playing it on Xbox. I don't know if you were.
I don't know if it's native
PS4?
now. I'm sure. I think it might be. I'm pretty sure Handsome came out native.
Yeah. PS4. Anyway, so yes, they go through, and then they get to here's Borderlands 3, and the playback still fucked up, and they showed it about 4 times. Trying to work out what do we do while these tech problems are happening, and
Man,
that's when he could have been doing
the magic. He really should have saved that magic trick, because if he'd gone, all right, we're going to show you in a sec, but I got 20 minutes to show you this trick. PAX coordinators, sort your fucking shit out, because this is unacceptable. Yeah. I really hope someone got fired for that shit. That's bad.
No. Well, okay.
That's like one of the biggest releases, one of the biggest pieces, and they've...
Hey, James.
No one at some point went, let's play this, and like maybe check it's all right. Like,
yeah, but who's that on? You notice how whenever we do a panel, I turn up with a laptop with 7 hours of fucking footage for a 1 hour panel, and before we start, I'm like, okay, so we can just turn up the screens. Okay, just checking that.
Yeah, no,
okay,
you're right,
that's all running.
Maybe
okay, great.
Maybe they didn't go. Here's the footage beforehand.
The apparent thing is that the video they were trying to play was an uncompressed 4K video.
Yeah, it probably should have been compressed.
It's like, well...
That's a lot of like data that needs to be streamed.
Yeah, it's like, well, if you're not very specifically set up to do that...
Yeah, a lot of bandwidth right there.
Yeah. Here's also the thing. Yeah, bring that.
Yeah.
Also bring a 1080p 60 H.264 version of it, and that's your backup.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's a fair point. That is fair. You think like, yeah, we've got our 1080p version.
I've used a lot of presentation systems at some fancy places and everything, and I'll bring a USB stick and just plug it into their system and check it, and that's fine. And I wouldn't trust any of those with 4K fucking video. What world do we live in where that's just like, oh yeah, you can just do it. It'll be fine. And actually, as I say, that's just what I've heard. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if anyone knows any of the technical details of why it was fucking up.
Yeah.
But I mean, always have a plan B. Yes. And you know what that plan B could have included? Magic.
You just busted out another trick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More magic,
yeah,
please.
so that kind of messed up.
So,
but, you know, at the end...
Then they showed it. And the thing is, it was up on the internet by the time the kernel's over anyway. And one feeling was that they just showed the YouTube video when they eventually showed it working. So yeah, Borderlands 3, they showed it. They didn't really tell us much about what's new in the game.
No, in fact, I found the video pretty underwhelming to start off with.
They've done 2 videos so far. I've hated both of them.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily any comment about the game. I just don't think they were interestingly edited. Very rapid montage.
Yeah, the first one especially was just like... I mean, I get it's kind of a bit more of a teaser, but yeah,
with
that
kind
like
of
bam, 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 bam.
And just like the weird Adult Swim style, like blank text in the middle of the screen. Just what are we? Like 10 years ago?
Because what I really wanted to see with Borderlands 3 is more differentiators from what's pushing this franchise forward. And at least so far...
Well, they really just showed off the aesthetics and a few environments and that some characters are
The biggest thing was there was like a city.
Yeah, there was a city.
And that was probably like, oh, cool. All right,
the gameplay takes you move between multiple planets.
Multiple planets in this one. Yeah.
But I think also after you've just shown a trailer of the last 3 games updated to modern times, it's like actually look pretty much the same.
Yeah. And it's like visually you could see there was an upgrade. Animation wise, less so.
But it's also because it has such a strong, distinct style.
Yeah.
Those visual upgrades, aren't that strong.
Yeah.
It's not like, wow, what generational leap.
Yeah. So it's like they didn't put anything in there to really go, wow, this is the next Borderlands.
I found a little bit of pointing out in the next trailer they showed off the 4 new class heroes. And I can't remember all their abilities, but one of them is like machine focused. So being able to spawn in vehicles and stuff, and then like multiple people can be on those vehicles.
Yeah. So apparently there's a lot more customization with each of these characters than previous.
There's like a beast hunter that has like animals that he can control and stuff. So both those first 2 are like, okay, well that actually sounds like something different.
Yeah.
Stuff that could lead to a lot of spectacle and chaos and all that sort of stuff as well. But yeah, the gameplay reveal is still like a month ahead of us. So
I want to see synergies as well. Like I feel like that's always been something a little bit lacking from Borderlands. Like I want to be able to go, let's build a team, have things that support each other a bit more.
One of the weird changes, which is both good and potentially bad, we'll see how it goes out, is that apparently there's going to be like gun customization. Like you can, I like the part of this gun I got, and I'm going to use it on another gun.
Okay, yeah.
Which makes, because that's how the whole system works. It's all just parts put together. That's how they have 1 billion guns in the game.
I think it's technically a squillion now.
No, I thought it used to be 1 million. Now it's 1 billion.
Oh, okay. Squillion's the next one.
Yeah. Okay.
Going at one order of magnitude actually isn't that impressive.
No. You just
like you're dealing with exponentials at this point.
Yeah.
I expect at least a squillion.
Exactly.
Like just make it so you can change just the color of like the laser sight.
So, and suddenly you've got
just suddenly so many
explodes again.
Yeah, and then we put like 4 different kinds of laser sights. Well, man, we can get some.
We can get some big numbers.
Yeah, we can get big numbers.
But with that, it's also like, but isn't the whole thing about getting new guns that are rare and you don't? So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that balance works out with what restrictions you'll have on the system.
And I'd actually would like it be if it went a bit more with the guns of like maybe Enter the Gungeon. Like where like they have guns which have a lot of character to them. And because I loaded up Borderlands both 1 and 2 just to kind of try out the HD packs. Definitely, like it looks a lot nicer. But I still find the guns very samey.
Yep.
Like I've never, for a game that's about gunplay, I've never found the Borderlands gunplay to be that spectacular. Like it's passable, it's fine. But compared to some other things, I think the gunplay's it's okay. It's all right.
Like some more wild modifiers that can be on the gun.
That's I guess that'd be like something I'd like to see them push forward on. Like, like this is a beam gun that kind of like sends out these tethers and throws people up in the air. Or, like just like you've still got like I'm shooting more bullets. It's like I think Enter the Gungeon did a really great job at like adding a lot of character to those guns. I would like to see that a bit more. But it's like at least so far what they've shown, it's like, oh no, there's just different ways to kind of shoot bullets, and one of the guns runs now. Like, okay, that was their big walking gun reveal.
So back to the starting point of this conversation, where it's about people entitled and complaining. So they then have announced since the reveal that the game is coming exclusively to Epic Games Store for a 6-month period, which has resulted in people review bombing the first 2 games on Steam.
Yeah.
Now, I get it.
You're not making a case for like saying come back to Steam at that point, are you?
No, you're not, are you?
Like, maybe we'll just shift everything over there.
I think in the world currently, we're all sort of told we're important, but we're not. And we are desperate to have our voice heard in some way. And the only way that actually has a measurable difference is review bombing shit. And that doesn't say you should or excusing it. It's a stupid thing to do that doesn't help anyone it doesn't help your case.
Yeah.
It's like people are desperate to have their word heard that they don't like Epic because there's this China spyware. It's going to eat all your babies. It's fun, like, especially when a game's like, it's coming out in September, so it's not far away, but it's, not tomorrow. Like, it's really weird. Remember the end of last year, we were talking about Epic Games Store, and we were like, wow, next year's going to be really interesting. We were fucking right.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, I don't think it's healthy, the environment of paying for exclusives, but at the same point, I don't mind things being exclusive on there. There's just a couple of outliers which are like, that, like Phoenix Point is a shit situation. And I thought Metro was pretty shit too.
That's more like, these things promises were made, things were changed. Like,
but if you just announce a new game and say it's on Epic,
it's like, well,
that's just a business. It's a choice.
The only real concern I have with it being exclusive to Epic is if there isn't some kind of crossplay between the platforms. Because I can see that would end up being a shit.
We'll find out more about that.
And if they just say, look, we're exclusive, you can buy it now, but in 6 months' time, when it comes out on Steam, you'll be able to play with your friends, you get it on Steam. I think that would be like, okay, well, I'll probably buy it on Epic then. So I don't have to worry about that.
We obviously can't speak for any of this because none of these details are out. But if you remember, one of the focuses of the Epic platform and some of the technology they were doing was cross-platform play.
Yes.
So, and they've already shown themselves, like, they're so interested in being involved in Steam, they're straight up reading from your from your files. That was a mini scandal. But if they are involved in any way in that aspect of Borderlands, they may be pushing for full on PS4, Xbox.
And maybe in this, while we're speculating, let's
speculate away.
Maybe this will be the flagship for that service.
Could be.
In which case it'd be like, right, you're buying this, you can play with the PS4, you can play on 360. Xbox One and Switch version, because let's speculate, why the hell not?
I think I might have said 360 before.
But yeah, who knows? Maybe that's the angle they'll go.
And Valve has previously dipped its toe into console, not successfully. They like, you could sign in, and that was about it. There was no real, but that's a push that. In fact, if there's anything that Epic Store is value adding at the moment, because it's pretty poor on other services, that's where they're pushing towards. This could actually be the perfect game for their service.
It could. Yeah.
But of course, they might not use any of that.
No.
It's all just speculation. We're talking out of our asses.
Oh, so much talking.
Hello, Internet.
Yeah. Interesting.
Interesting times.
Interesting E3 this year, which unfortunately I'll be away for. Well, I mean, it's
oh, I am taking that soundbite. Oh, fucking honeymoon.
What will happen?
Fucking hot doctor, bitch.
Taking me away. I'm going to miss 93. We can talk about it.
Just going to play Yoshi together in Japan.
Just going to be playing I want to watch my videos.
Do you know where you're going in Japan yet?
Yes. Well, no, a little bit. We know what we're flying in and out of, and that's really bad at the moment. So,
what's going in and out?
Flying in Tokyo.
What a wild choice.
What a wild, crazy.
We've done a bit of planning.
Yeah.
We've chosen the big airport.
Like, we've booked the flights. They're paid for. That's all
good.
done,
That's all you need.
Yeah. We need to figure out like what the cities are, and then we can figure out all that stuff. Got the Lonely Planet guide.
You'll be the summertime. I recommend going into the
Yeah, it's going to be kind of
hills.
just at the cusp of the rainy season, like when we're going.
I said go to the hills. Although you don't mind the heat, you're a freak.
Oh, I mean, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, when we were down Melbourne and we're like wearing a light jacket, you're like, oh, can't wait to get up to Brisbane.
Yeah.
I'm like,
no, I love humidity.
Oh, you'll love Japan then.
Yeah, no, it's the humidity because my nose gets sore.
Oh, your nose is
I get like a little sore nose.
Oh,
my sinuses kind of dry out.
You're like a modern day Rudolph.
Yeah, it gets all like But when I'm in humid areas, I'm like, I can breathe. My nose isn't sore.
Fucking just use the nasal spray. Do it.
No, you can build up a tolerance to it.
To what?
To the nasal sprays.
What kind of nasal spray are you using?
Are you talking about like the decongestant?
No. Okay. I'm just talking about something to moisturize your sinuses.
No, I mean, I'm not going to get tolerant to water. Like,
You don't use water. Use a little bit of something with some sort of oil in it.
Kind of oily nasal thing. I don't know. I've never tried an oily nasal thing.
When I was like really, really cold in the helicopter, I just had a little tub of Vaseline and I just went, just filled my nostrils with it. I'm like, I am outside a helicopter at quite high heights in the winter. I am just going to cover my face with Vaseline. This is fine.
Insulate that. Yeah.
And then I accidentally got it in my mic and I ruined the microphone. Anyway, so yes, Borderlands 3 is a game that's happening, which might be fun.
I need more. They haven't given us good reason to be excited apart from its Borderlands 3.
Mini leak.
Yes.
Mini leak in something like a data dump thing somewhere. It just said that they like had not a patent or something that just said that they had a system that let people of any level play together.
Well, they need that.
Yeah.
Like that's
because that was always like Borderlands. Like I started 2 with a group of friends, and we played for like 2-3 hours. I was like, okay, great, we'll see you all next weekend. And then the next weekend, they go, oh yeah, we played it 400 hours.
That's
so far.
always a problem. Like, yep, just normalize it, please. Like, it really should not matter. We don't need friends should be able to. It's amazing. It's like now,
especially when I don't care about the story.
Like now, it's being kind of fixed. Like it's much more common in games now to have some kind of scaling because everyone plays about the same level. If that's not in there, I'll be very disappointed because that's just a given these days.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2.
Oh yeah, surprise announcement.
Yeah, I did not see that coming.
Nope.
It's coming out next year.
Yeah.
I almost thought it was coming out next week.
Yeah, you were like, this is out next week. That'd be super impressive.
I got the year at the end of the release date wrong.
Oh, it's super impressive if they managed to keep that one secret.
I don't really have any thoughts about it other than I'm interested to see how it turns out.
Yep. The first one was pretty janky, but very interesting.
So it's a cult game with all the things that you expect from a cult game. Okay, back to some video games. I've been playing a game that I and probably a couple of other people in the world were very excited about. Mechstermination Force.
And when I looked at it, I saw that because I've seen all of 30 seconds
Oh,
over your shoulder.
as I played as you came into that.
So I'm going to tell you all about it.
Okay.
So what mech whatever
Mechstermination. It's like extermination.
Mechstermination
but with mech for the first syllable.
is a arena side scroller where you have to take down giant bosses with various weak points. And you have to do like jump on buildings and things to reach inaccessible areas of the mech. And you play through a series of 20 mechs.
I can't actually tell you the number. So far, maybe
20 mechs, all with different ways to solve. It's basically the Shadow of Colossus of mech combat. That's what it is.
That is very accurate.
I give it 4 out of 5 stars.
That seems like a pretty good review and assessment. James was correct about most of this.
Yeah.
This is a boss game. This is a Cuphead, and you are a little soldier. At the very beginning, it says like, we've got you here, the elite force. You're not the best. You're just all that's left. And then 5 of you run along, and 4 of the others get killed, and then it's just you versus the robots. It can be played co-op, but I don't have any friends, so I haven't tried that. It's just each level is you versus a boss, and that boss is a robot. And the great thing about robots is that robots are transformers. So things like multi-stage bosses is just normal, because you blow something's head off, and that doesn't mean the robot's over. That means the robot can be an alligator now, or whatever.
Yeah, there's some contingency plan on the head disappearing.
So basically, it is a game. Big bosses, you very little. Yeah, shooting off armor. So it's very reactive to most things you do. And then you have to get to weak spots, which there's red weak spots and there's orange ones. The orange ones you are allowed to shoot. Red ones you can't shoot. You have to get close enough to hit them with a melee attack.
Okay.
Which is a wrench. So often it's working out how to get to that point to get it up. After a few levels, you get magnetic gloves, so you're able to climb anything metal.
Cool.
So armor isn't metal.
Yeah.
So you often have to shoot off the armor then to find a path to get up there. You can also they might have guns on them or something, so you can shoot them off to make the boss a little bit less. Hey. Every boss so far has just been completely unique. Like, it is the same base concept. Okay, you're trying to do that, but it's Shadow of the Colossus. Is just like, okay, this one is like a very early bosses. It straight up is, puts down an arm that you then jump on the arm to run up to their face, stuff like that. Yeah. Sometimes, like the boss I'm playing at the moment, I'm really, really enjoying just because it keeps splitting, but as it tries to turn each individual part of it into a different robot, because it doesn't fake it. It's just like, oh no, now that arm is a robot. And it's running around doing its own arm thing now. I'm like, this is fucking great. That's cool. I love it. A spoiler for one overall design, like the 4th boss or something, is a giant snail. And it's got and I don't want to go into the mechanics, because the mechanics is what the game is, but it's like everyone has just unique ideas. So, hitting your head against the wall, I've never beaten a boss in less than 5 goes, probably more on all of them.
Yeah. So each boss is a little learning experience to solve, and then you...
you keep... As you're doing that, especially when you destroy armor pieces, they'll drop money. You don't lose that money when you die. That money can buy health upgrades. It can buy new weapons. And all the weapons so far are just things that you would use for different case scenarios. And you can swap them in match. You don't have to choose beforehand. So it's often, you're hitting your head against a boss. And I think quite often they go, this next gun would be good for the next boss. But you don't have enough money for that yet. So you can certainly beat everything with the base gun. None of them are stronger than the others. They're just there's a flamethrower, there's a laser, there's different things like that. But it's so you might think that's a goal, but keep trying before, learn all the patterns and everything, and then when you finally get to that money amount, you're like, I'll go get the gun, and now I'm going to come in with this new strat, and I'm going to totally reinvigorate this.
That's a cool little loop.
You can replay the old bosses to get more money if you want, because there's a ranking system. I'm doing pretty shit, but I'm getting through it. It's fine. The things I don't like, the music's very forgettable. Just and also, it's so far as it's just a linear path. Which means if you do hit a boss that you just can't get, that's ended the game for you. And Like Cuphead didn't have that. Cuphead tended to have you like in an area, you'd have a few different ones you could go to. Even just like you need a palate cleanser once in a while to get. So,
even like Sekiro does that from what I've seen. You know, those bosses are tough, but there's 3 you can do at any given time. So do one.
And like I imagine like having like sections that are like gated because like okay you need to get a new ability here or something. But otherwise, I just worry that I will hit that one that I can't do. But so far, it's really charming. It plays really well. About the biggest difficulty playing is that you don't really have air control in the jump. You have a little bit. But it's like, you can't jump up and then onto a platform. You have to jump across to a platform.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's... I find it weird sometimes I think about video games, just in any genre. A game that just doesn't follow the status quo of what you expect from that movement. And you're like, well, I can't really criticize it for that because... In fact, what they did makes way more sense.
Yeah.
But I'm just used to something else.
Yeah.
In fact, the whole time they go like, oh man, I hope I unlock a double jump. Why? A double jump is the stupidest thing we've ever invented in gaming. But we all want it.
You want it, though. Yeah.
Sekiro had a double jump. Ooh.
Don't think it does.
It's got a grappling hook.
Yeah, it's got
so you can jump and grapple.
Yeah.
Then I want like the dashing from Messenger where I can hit things and then get another jump. Oh, so many good things. Yeah, so Mechstermination Force is on the Switch at the moment. I haven't checked if it's on anything else. I think it was $17 US.
It's all right.
I think
it looked like what I saw of your shoulder looked pretty fun. Yeah, I really like the style of it.
It's one of I always get anxiety with each new boss. I go like, oh fuck, what's this going to be?
Yeah.
But I find every time I like work out a phase and get through it, and the next one comes, I'm a little bit like, damn it, I thought that was the last phase, but there's another phase, but also like, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Or I just go, how do I do this? Because I've had some people throw bullet hell at it. If it throws a bunch of bullets somewhere, the point is you're not supposed to be where those bullets are.
Yeah, okay.
It's like, it's not that kind of pattern recognition. Everything is, it's big tells and telegraphs and... it has scrolling levels, it has static levels, it has all sorts of things.
Okay.
It has a lot of variety. It's the guy that made the Gunman Clive games.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because I didn't know who made it at first. I'm like, this looks good. Is this fooling me or is it someone with pedigree? And someone with some experience at least. So Mechstermination Force. James, would you like to talk about your Division or your Saber?
No, I'll talk about Division 2, just kind of, because I don't have a lot more to say about it than I did last time.
Okay.
So I've now played through the main quests, which has taken me 30 hours, I think, to get through it, which seems like
pretty substantial.
I've played enough of it now to kind of comment on it. I haven't gotten to the end game. I'm now sort of at they're called strongholds, which are kind of their end game dungeons.
What level are you?
24.
Okay.
And I think the cap's 30.
30, yeah. And then it becomes a gear-based thing.
Then it's like, it's like your gear level, and I think they have like World Tier 1 through 4, I think, at the moment. And everything resets.
You can skip all of that. So once you hit 30, you can just squat up with someone in World Tier 4.
Oh, and they just drag you up.
Well, no, because you can just give each other gear. And they just give you the gear and
they'll
you
just bump your gear score.
Straight up.
That's cool.
But also, it means you miss a lot of learning and getting through those early things.
So I
probably
feel like,
don't do it.
I feel like I'm still doing everything on story mode, which keeps it all pretty simple.
Yep.
So I don't feel like I'm getting to kind of the more high tier play. But I still like playing by myself. I felt the difficulty of the missions was generally good. Like they never felt. Some of them were kind of cakewalky. But a lot of the time there'd be a pretty stressful boss fight. Like it didn't feel like I was saying like Diablo or Destiny does an okay job. Where like I was like, I'm just filling time until I get to the end game. It's like, no, this is a challenge. Like I'm having to, run from cover to cover and kind of pick my targets and that kind of thing. So far, the thing that really impressed me about this game is that each of the levels, including the side missions, and there's a lot of side missions, feel very different. Yeah. I think that they've got so much detail in this world, and like there are things that I've walked into just exploring which are highly detailed areas, like a botanical gardens. Nothing there. Like there's no like story. Like I think I found a thing to pick up, but like it's highly detailed environment which is unique to everything else I'd seen. Just sitting there. It's like maybe they're going to use it later. I don't know. But it's meant that all the missions have felt really unique. Every mission is incredibly set piecey, but each of those set pieces is very different. Like a big problem I had with the first division is after a while, each of those missions felt like, okay, I've seen this environment, I've seen this environment, I've seen this environment. But it's like they went, right, every mission, especially the main missions, this one's going to be in a space research center. This is going to be in the Museum of American History, where I'm fighting in like an environment which is like fighting in the NAM exhibit, like this is going to be in I don't know, like I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. There's a lot.
The planetarium.
Yeah, like the planetarium is another one. Like he's the shopping mall one. Like they all feel different. Like the one I did like it was a side mission, and it was like getting like these rooftop gardens back.
Yeah.
And so the whole mission was like up in this like these apartment buildings where it's like all these rooftop terraces that I'm fighting between, but there's like some connecting things where if they want, they could kind of run around these connecting buildings to get to you, but otherwise I'm just fighting on these rooftop terraces. And like it was a very different experience than like the other fights I had. So like even though the combat is, it's like cover to cover, flushing people out.
Soloing it all or grouping?
Bit of both. Part of the problems I've had is the matchmaking seems a bit so-so. I found early on it was very easy to get missions with other people. Now it's starting to be, I get requests for help all the time, because at any point you can go, request help, and people can join you. But because I'm trying to do specific missions to kind of like get through them, I think the last stronghold I was waiting about 20-30 minutes before. I was just doing something else.
I guess that's the thing. It's like as people spread out more with their time, like it's hard to find someone at a specific point wanting to do something. But
when I did the stronghold, it was good. Like there was like one part of the mission where I was fighting in a drug lab, and it meant that like it was contaminated. So like every like about minute or so, I get like this disorientation debuff. So like my controls stopped working as well. And it's like, it's like a really close quarter fight. Like it was really unique.
What if to ask for help, you had to help 3 other people?
Yeah, or some kind of currency system. Yeah. Like something like, I mean, Dark Souls does that kind of a little bit with their like humanity stuff, where you're earning humanity, so you can, something like that would actually be pretty cool. Just something to kind of incentivize that kind of help. But I have a feeling like once I get to the end game, and I've experienced all the content, at that point I'm more likely to just go queue for random.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, someone wants to do a mission, cool. Because there are so many missions in there. I think it would actually stay pretty fresh. Like if you're someone who like me, who likes, I like that gear progression. I don't think I'd be grinding the same mission over and over and over again. So I'm still at the end game stuff, but at least like the experience through the main thing. The story is basically non-existent. I don't care. Like there's not like they even tried.
Did you have a gun? Did your neighbor have a gun?
Yeah, like that's the plot. Like I think that there are like recordings where you do lots of learning about the world. So you learn about characters. You look at an echo, which is like the kind of visualization.
They've got lore, but not story.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, this person is over here. I can kind of see this is connected. And there's like some like these little hints that there's a story coming. And you're like talking about like, maybe there's a second virus or something like that, or like there's this rogue agent here. I'm like, well, okay, like there might be something going on. But yeah, they don't really talk about it too much. Did a little bit of the Dark Zone stuff. Which is in their PvP area. So far, there hasn't been too many people in it. And they have like a non-PvP rogue mode where like, so you can go rogue and that's so people can attack you. And they'll have these things where you can like hack these like terminals. And the moment you do it, you start to become more rogue. But you don't have to fight anyone. So what you do is just basically run from node to node, progressively like upping your basically outlaw rank. Until the point where like you've done like, I think like 7 of them or something like that. You go full rogue, and now you need to get to like a safe house to clear it. So it's sort of like you're engaging with that kind of like, now I can be shot. Like now someone can kill me, but I'm not actively seeking out players. I thought that was a nice way, like, I kind of want to get into this, but I want the tension of like being in this kind of PvP zone. But I don't necessarily want to go around hunting players. Like it's kind of like, it's like, no, I thought it was an okay.
You don't want to be griefers.
Yeah, like I'm not there to grief, but I want some of that tension.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's, I've been enjoying it. Like it's very samey what you're doing, but I think because the environments are just incredibly varied, I haven't minded. Like it's like, this is cool. I haven't seen this area before. This is a different kind of experience. It's different, and also different gameplay experiences because of the different areas. So it's
It does, as I said before. If I was going to play Schluter, it does sound pretty good.
Yeah, and especially with all the scaling and things. Like I was talking to a friend who was thinking of getting it. It's like, if you get it, just let me know and I'll jump in and it'll scale everything, and like I'll still progress. And
You can't scale like an Anthem and just take off all your equipment and be strong.
Yeah, the whole experience has been very solid. Like playing through, like it was, and it is just basically Division 1.5. Like it's just the iteration on the previous one. So I think
they've learned a lot. And it launched really well.
It was a lot better than Destiny 2, where they went, "Hey, all that stuff that we learned from Destiny 1, bin that."
We'll learn it again later. Okay, so yeah, Division 2. Now, thoughts on Sekiro. There's been a lot of discussion since Sekiro came out on difficulty in games.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we said it before, games are the only entertainment medium where you are gated from progress. Like if you were reading a book and at the end of the chapter it said, do a test, and if you got it wrong, it said, go reread the fucking chapter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you can't pass this test, no more reading for you. But then also From games are about persistence, they're about overcoming persistence, and that's sort of that. And there's talk about how to make, and there's obvious ways to make things easier, but whether or not that aligns with the vision and what the game's supposed to be, and there's a lot of back and forth, and everyone has like relatively good opinions on the whole, except for the people that are just got big EPs about playing hard games. Those people are shitty gatekeepers that can go suck a dick. Not in the good way either. Like, I shouldn't use that as an example.
No, it's a bit homophobic.
It's fun.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
Yeah.
A bag of dicks.
Yeah.
Because that's different.
No one wants to suck a bag of dicks.
Where do they come from?
Yeah,
what is the state of these dicks?
Yeah, it's...
So I had a pitch.
Yeah.
And I just want to hear your thoughts on my pitch. So part of the base concept of Sekiro is that when you are killed, you can then resurrect. So my pitch is that there are 2 resurrections. One of them you can optionally do is a shadow resurrection, where you are a shadow and you can fight, but you cause no damage. But you also take no damage.
So you can just practice or something.
So you can just hang around in the area, and there's like a gate, like you then can't explore from that point because you'd be invincible. Exploration would be bad. So there's a tether to you that you can't move outside of the area. But it's just like, if you want to try and get that timing down, and then you resurrect, and you still got to do it for reals. But you don't have to do all the build up and the frustration, like he kills me in one shot, how can I? And just trying things, because I think that's part of... So how much do you parry in any Souls games?
Not much. No. I'm more of a roll out of the way kind of guy.
Now,
more of a dodger than a parrier.
One of the reasons why I never parry in Dark Souls is because to learn to parry, I have to risk getting hit.
Yes. Yeah. It's a difficult thing to do well.
So I actually don't know how to do it properly because, well, unless I just find the guy next to my spawn point, and there are penalties for dying, I'm not going to test it.
So there is a character in this game which lets you practice all this stuff.
Yeah.
So,
but they're not all the bosses.
No,
and all the bosses have different timings.
But they
concepts.
still like the basic concept of parrying.
Yeah.
So not for the boss itself, but just engaging with the core mechanics. There is a way to do that in a safe space.
I just want it for the whole game.
You want the whole boss. Yeah. See, I
don't even necessarily want it for the whole boss.
Yeah.
Just whenever you die, you can just shadow up and learn the area.
I think it's fun. I'd probably be more likely to play it if that was the case. I don't really have too much of an opinion on should a game have a hard mode or an easy mode or whatever. I think
games can be what they want to be.
Yeah, like it's sort of up to the creator what kind of experience they want, and I think if the market doesn't want it, then they won't buy it, and the market will sort of decide. Like, I don't think you should be able to say like every game must be completable. Because
I think all games should be completable.
Well, there should be,
should not be completable by all people.
Yeah, exactly. Not all games should be completable by all people. I don't think we have to do that.
But I hadn't actually thought about it in that context, and I wonder if I entirely agree. And I don't know. I don't know. I think it's an interesting conversation. Like, should the content of a game be accessible to many people as want to engage with it? Or
I kind of think it's just something where the market decides. Like, I do think that, if you're consumer blah that knows nothing about a product and you've gone and bought this game, and just say, you're not going to beat it, right? Like, you hit the first boss and it's like, okay, this is way out of my skill. I think that person should be entitled to get their money back.
To return the game.
Yeah. I think it should be like, okay, it's like if I
Remember when Ben spent 20 hours on the bloody first boss of Dark Souls?
Yeah, you can think of it like this, right? Like, I can go and buy like a shirt that doesn't fit me. And if it doesn't fit me, it's not fit for purpose. And I think that's the argument you could make. You could say, I bought a game, this is too hard, it's not fit for my purpose, which is to, play a game I can complete. I want a refund. And I think that's that's
I think
fine.
that's probably fair.
But yeah, I think to say like, we need to put an easy mode in this. It's like, nah, not really. Like it is, the game is what it is. And if because I think like with the Souls game, they tend to be going for a certain experience, which I do think would be undermined if there was an easy way to get through it. Just from that's just the kind of games that they're trying to make, these challenges, and they're almost like community challenges.
I cheese almost every boss.
Yeah,
you know why I can't replay Dark Souls?
You can't cheese it anymore.
No. Because it's the what's like the bull guy with like some dogs. He's like a minotaur.
Oh yeah, the Taurus demon.
The Taurus demon and the gaping dragon.
Yeah,
I've never been killed by.
Okay.
I don't know if I can do that again.
You have performance anxiety.
Yeah. I'm like, did I just lock out those other times I fought them? I did the Gaping Dragon a few times. I helped other people. Still never been killed by it. I'm like, why do people contribute to the Gaping Dragon? People are like, that sucks. I'm like, maybe it does. Maybe it's really hard and I just very lucky. I'm like,
I mean, Souls, you can have just the good run. Like, you could just be, you had that fluke boss fight where you're like, I just killed it.
Taurus, I just stabbed him in the face. It was very easy. Don't know what people were complaining about. But now I'm worried.
Yeah.
Now I'm worried.
Because I'm just trying to think, because I haven't played it myself. I've been watching Cheryl play it and watching what she enjoys about it. And I have a feeling, like part of what she's doing is going to Reddit, like reading like, other struggles people are having, looking for tips and things.
That's always the like getting in on the ground floor and from games is great. Being part of that community,
because you're part of the whole experience. And would she be enjoying the game as much if the Reddit was full of other people who had gone easy mode? I just got through it. Like, would that undermine her experience? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not 100% sure. I think it has the potential to, because like there's this feeling of camaraderie of like we're all working together to push through this group challenge. So it might be a worse game for it. I don't really know.
But my shadow mode idea is pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh no, that's cool. Like I like the idea of safe practice, and I think they kind of added that a little bit with the guy, and so clearly they identify that. It's like, all right,
what you're saying is that I'm a genius game designer.
I think you've got good ideas, and as we know, ideas
are very valuable. Our new slogan: ideas are most valuable. Oh, good. Okay. Now, James, you have one last game to talk about.
Yes.
Oh, well, you got two things written there, but I don't know what the hell you're going to say about that.
Oh, what, the first part?
Lenovo Explorer?
Lenovo Explorer. Oh, well, that was just my crazy deal.
Oh, that's the headset.
Yeah,
it's all together.
Yeah. No, so there was a pricing error.
I thought Lenovo Explorer would be like, you bought a Lenovo laptop and it had just like...
That's the headset.
It had like just a little app for like installing the drivers and shit, and you had some problems with it.
No.
And you're going to have a rant about, play. No. So it's the headset.
So there was a crazy pricing error, and the Lenovo headset with controllers was meant to be priced, I think, at $399, which is still a good price, except they had it for $99. And I managed...
I wish I'd known.
Because Michael got one, and he straight away told me, and then... his was sold out because I think I got his from Chermy. From Kedron. And then it's like, okay, I grabbed one. It was like the last one from Chermside, and then looked at like what was left after that. And I think the closest was like 200 kilometers away.
Might be worth it.
And then it went down. Like then you just couldn't get to it anymore. Yeah. So it was very brief what this thing was up for. So it's actually like the Rift S. The new Rift seems to be the actual follow-up to this device, because it is complete inside-out tracking. Like there's no sensors you set up at all. It's just got like basically two sensors at the front of the headset which track the hand things.
Yep.
And the tracking has been good. You can, if I'm holding it, I can kind of see a little bit of jitter, but not too much. It hasn't nothing that's ruined the experience for me. I do get the VOMs without the hands. Because the controllers, because I think it uses the controllers for the tracking as well.
Okay.
Like it kind of combines it somehow. So I find
probably maths.
Yeah, there's some maths involved, because I find with the controllers the tracking's actually quite good.
Maybe we should put some ping pong balls all around your room.
Maybe. Yeah. Actually, it would be cool if you could just set up like points to go. Just reference that. I don't want a camera, but I want you to say, see that picture? That's not moving. Like
we could get you a bunch of Wii sensor bars.
That would work out pretty well. Just stay on the headset for a little while, because like no one really talks about the Lenovo Explorer that much. People talk about
they talk about it so much. I thought it was an app.
No. But Lenovo have. I'm pretty sure they're the manufacturer for the Rift S. I think it's actually that Lenovo just making them. I've used an Oculus Rift, the current model. What's the CS2, whatever it's called. I did not have a particularly good experience with it. Not that the tech's fine. It's just, you need to put up these cameras everywhere. My space is not set up for that. Like, it's like, clearly this is a device which is for, you have a room, you set up the room. Like, here, you could do it in this room quite well. But I just don't have that space. Whereas this one, no. It comes with 2 plugs. You plug them in, HDMI, USB, and you're done. That's all you got to do. You can then map out an area of the room of like what's safe, so you can still kind of walk around that, and it tracks it pretty well through that area. But it means that as long as the cable can reach somewhere, I don't have to worry about setting any sensors or anything like that. And the tracking has been pretty good. Seated is probably, there's not really too much problem there because I'm seated. There's not much for it to do, though. That's where the tracking in and out is not quite as good. But if you're still, it's not too big a deal. Setup experience was great. The quality of the headset is okay. Like, I'd probably say the screens are a bit better than the PSVR, but doesn't have probably the same field of view. It gets a little bit blurry in the edges, so I find that you have to kind of like move your head to look at things rather than move your eye to look at the edges.
That's the thing. The Index's big thing is a really wide field of view.
And it sort of like takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you've been playing for a bit, you kind of get it. Basically, this thing is like, I'd say it's like a mid-tier experience. Which for $100 I'm totally fine with that. Totally fine with. And it has made me pretty interested in these coming headsets because I found, for me, the blocking technology has been the cameras. And the moment I can don't have to worry about any of that, I'm far more interested in it as a device. It's not using Oculus or Rift or Vive stuff. Obviously, it's using Microsoft Mixed Reality framework. But that's got very good integration to a whole bunch of Steam VR stuff. In fact, there's even a Windows Mixed Reality little logo now on things, which is supported. And the vast majority of things will support it. Unity integration was stupid easy. I just loaded up a project that I had, which is my little Wolfenstein. I don't know if I've ever showed it to you.
So next to the export to Switch button, it had an export to VR button.
Not even that. You just threw the editor. I basically threw on the camera rig on the character and hit play and put on the headset. I'm like, oh, this is done. I'm walking around this 3D environment I made. This is kind of cool. I think that we talk about the big players for the headsets. I hadn't even considered this. I just thought it's going to be this is a Lenovo thing. So it's good. It's fine.
Well, I suppose it's the Windows Mixed Reality thing that really is selling that, letting more people come in. That we keep talking about what headset's going to do it in the PC space. Probably no one in particular. It's monitors.
Oh no, it actually does feel a bit like that. Like I thought of VR as no, you got to get these big player platforms. But we might actually end up with some really high quality stuff, like say something coming out of China, where they're they've just making these really high quality affordable devices, like we're seeing with mobile phones now, like these really amazing phones coming out of China. We could find that with a headset.
Well, it's like at work, people often say, "Oh, what phone do you use?" And I say a OnePlus.
Yeah.
And most people just go, "What the fuck is a OnePlus?" I'm like, "Well, let me tell you."
Yeah, no, it's an amazing phone.
Yeah.
It's a great value for price, like good amazing screen, like good hardware, like
Because the general is like, "Oh, well, you've got to get Apple or Samsung." And she's actually, no, you don't. There's lots of others.
OnePlus is actually a great brand.
I can show you some $200 phones that are absolutely fine.
So I think that's sort of my kind of my rough experience with it. It's been a bit eye opening in what VR is. Like, it doesn't have to be Vive. It doesn't have to be.
So you've played Rift. A few things, but your big revelation.
Yes. So I beat Saber, and I got a bit drunk before I bought it because this is how it works, right? Like, I try not to spend as much money these days because I don't have as much of an income as I used to. So I try to curb back. But then sometimes I have a drink or two. And I'm like, that $30 thing, it's just $30 because, it's $30.
So I whenever I buy something on the Switch and I don't have any credit, I don't just do the credit. I do put $100 on the Switch.
Oh, well,
now that's fine. That goes on. But then, sometimes I have a drinky or two.
Yeah.
And that disappears very quickly. Yeah,
because most of the time, I am actually quite good at controlling impulse spendings. But it's either a little bit tipsy or a little bit tired Oh, that thing. Whew, that's not there anymore. I'm never making any like $300 purchases. Like these purchases are always like $20, $30. Yeah, little kind of like manageable purchases.
Oh, you give me a list of $5 and under sales, and whoo, I laugh.
Yeah.
I'm drunk. I'm gonna go on the indie store. These bundles is indie color. This fanatical is bundles supreme. 6 bundles for $1. I get 100 bundles. That's how I live.
That's yeah. And then you end up with your 10,000
Bought
games
3 bundles
on your
week.
Steam. Yeah. So anyway, first thing I actually gave a go was Elite, and I kind of mentioned that briefly before, and I had a good time with that. But yeah, eventually got Beat Saber. Now I haven't got this on PSVR because I knew about like you can't PCs where you get your custom songs, and I'm interested in that kind of scene. And it's also $30 on PCs. Seems pretty reasonable for what it is. That game is fucking amazing.
Yep.
I mean, I've played VR stuff before where I've gone, oh yeah, this is pretty good. This is the first one I've played where I like, no, you sell the platform. Like, I've given this thing to complete non-gamers, and they pick up the controls in about 30 seconds, and then they love it. Like VR, majority of the time you put VR on someone's head, you got to walk them through, this button does this button does this, adjust this, and like it's just like this kind of slow experience. Yeah. Not with this. I just find like I've tried it on Cheryl's mum, dad, aunt, and probably the only one that struggled a bit was Cheryl's aunt, and she's sort of in her kind of mid-60s. The other two who are kind of like early 60s are like just get it, or late 50s. They just like bam, loved it, got it straight away. And they kept coming back. I want to play this more. Cheryl lost her shit over it, which didn't surprise me in the slightest because she loves beat games. But just like the experience of slashing those blocks is so satisfying. I could just keep doing it. Like I could just like at one point, like one of the controllers started like acting funny, and we're like, oh, is this thing like, is it something a bit busted? I'm looking up on YouTube and like on Google, just like any problems with controllers, and like, oh, some people have something problems with Bluetooth and things like that. No, the battery was just flat. It's just like we played this enough. They're like, oh, okay, it's like
drained the battery.
It's just drained the battery and it's turning itself off.
Yeah, because Beat Saber just like I've never had an experience that didn't feel solid in it.
Yeah.
The tracking's always good, and it's just the little touches. It's like, okay, you're slashing, you get the little, is there vibration in those controls at all? So the vibrate, just like little vibration, but then when you're not doing it and you put the swords together and and then the drawing on the platform.
I haven't tried the drawing underneath.
Oh yeah. It does like lightsabers in like a wall, like you can carve in stuff. And it's like little touches everywhere, but it just feels solid. And people know how to swing a thing. Yeah, and they read it pretty easily.
Probably the biggest complaint I have about it is I don't think it teaches what is a good swing very well at all. No, because I got to, it's only like the third song, and I couldn't beat it. And like,
are you just playing on hard or
no? This was normal through the campaign. I got to, it was like literally the third song, or actually fourth. It was like a branch in the fourth song. Yeah. Cheryl played it, couldn't beat it. And she's like, and I hate the song. It's a boring song. I played it. I didn't mind the song so much. I gave it maybe like 4 or 5 goes. Couldn't beat it. And I'm hitting the vast majority of things. And it was only when I looked up online where they explained, like they did a tweet about it, where like, what is a good swing? And it's basically, you need to have basically a 90-degree arc through it. And then there's like a bonus of like, if you follow through, I think it's like how close you are to center mass. Yeah. So it's not so much the angle. The angle I think is quite forgiving. It's actually the length of the arc that determines score. But there's nothing really that says like, there's no like good, bad popping up. The only way you can really tell is like, you can go, this one says 40 points and this one says 100 points. And it was so poorly explained that I like tried to figure it out. And for a while, I actually thought it was the strength of the swing. But it just must have been because I was having to do more motion to get the force that was getting me like closer to what it needs to be.
Did you see they added a difficulty above expert?
I saw there's expert plus.
Yeah, you should look at those.
I can do hard okay. But yeah, I haven't tried anything kind of above that yet. I
don't know like, how the people do it. Like, remember on PC with the Vive, they had to release like new firmware and everything because they underestimated the speed people could play Beat Saber.
Well, I do feel like with the particular hardware I have, there's possibly that you might not be able to do the more advanced ones with this cheaper tracking.
But let's face it, we're not anyway.
But I'm not like, if I can do hard and maybe expert,
you'll be able to do some expert.
Yeah, like if it's good enough for that, I can't see myself going beyond that anyway. Because I'm more likely to go, okay, I can do hard. Let's find a new song. I want to learn that more than like let's get expert plus. You know, I cannot recommend that experience enough. It is by far the best game I've played on VR. The best experience I've had is Beat Saber on VR.
It is very, very good. Okay. Look, I'm just gonna sell something. There's a virtual novel game called the Miskatonic. I bookmarked it ages ago. It's on sale for $2 at the moment. If you like sort of quirky, trying to be funny, I'll say trying to be because your feelings will vary on the subject. So I'm not going to put my neck out there. Based in like horror Cthulhu world, but everyone's like cute cartoon girls.
It's very cute.
It's $2 on PC on Steam, and so far I've only played like the first act of it.
Yeah,
that's fine. It's cute. It's like, hey, but I know a lot of people that just like Cthulhu mythos, but like everything's happening. Like there's monsters and shit in the world. It's just normal. Like half the characters are like, hey, that guy has a mouth for a face and shit like that. It's like, yeah, this is like that tone, but. It's not cute anime girls because it's not really anime style. It's cartoon girls, and just like if you like that, you can do it. I don't mind and apparently it's not super long.
Good, I like short.
Yeah. I got other stuff,
except if it's a looter shooter, in which case I want 250 hours, please.
You do. Did you watch the trailer for Joker?
No. Well, I watched about half of it, and I'm not saying
you should watch the whole thing.
Well, it was enough to convince me to see it.
But it's so well cut.
You know
how we were saying bad trailers before in Borderlands? This is like... Mwah.
Yeah, well,
the movie might be shit, but the trailer is great.
I think that it's because I'm keen to see it, so it was more like, oh no, I'll watch it. Like, it convinced me halfway through to see it. You know a trailer I watched the other day? The trailer for Big.
Spooky House.
Not Spooky House, trailer for Big.
Also known as the prequel to Spooky House.
Also known as, the prequel to Spooky House. I really need to rewatch Big. Like, Tom Hanks in that, I guess because when I last saw it, I was... probably the age that the character, the kid is.
You watched it, and now you're big.
And now I'm the big version.
Well, we'd have to call it medium.
Medium version. I was like, at least from the trailer, the manner.
I want to be medium. Anyway, continue.
I was really impressed with how Tom Hanks was like performing like the mannerisms of a kid. Like, it was really impressive. Like, you look at him, and he's just acting like a kid. The way he's moving, the way he's talking. It looked really impressive. And I don't think I appreciated it at the time because it's like, I was just like watching the funny Tom Hanks guy who's getting into these situations. I think I should rewatch it. Looks like it's good.
You go for it, buddy.
I should. 88,
and watch
I think
Joe versus the volcano while you're at it.
I don't know if I've seen that. Have I seen it? Did I see it with you? I can't remember.
Well, it came out well before we started seeing movies together. It probably came off before we met each other.
And I probably haven't seen it.
Well, time to go see. You can then watch Philadelphia. It's a trilogy.
Oh, yeah. I have seen Philadelphia, not in a long time. I wonder how that movie is these days. Like, times have changed since Philly. Like,
Cal was trying to he was trying to remember Dallas Buyers Club the other day. He's like, the cancer movie. I'm like, Philadelphia? Like, no!
That was AIDS, though, right? In Philadelphia. I didn't think it was cancer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was an AIDS movie too.
Yeah.
No, they're both AIDS movies. I just mixed up my
Is it kind of cool
things.
that, like, AIDS is effectively solved now? Like, the life expectancy of an AIDS sufferer is now normalized.
It's much better.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it actually has effectively been cured in that, like, if you have AIDS these days, it doesn't affect your life expectancy. I think that's what happened. So it's not cured, but it's like, it's under control enough.
I'd still rather not.
Oh, I still don't want it, but it's kind of like back when Philadelphia was out. It's like, no, this thing will kill you.
Yeah.
When now it's like, no, we got that shit under control, which I think is kind of cool.
Medicine's cool.
It is.
I don't know much about the subject in that. But I do know about blinding oneself. And
yeah, you're good at jamming shit.
You know why? You know why I didn't have a voice?
Why?
So I got home before my wife did from the camping. So I'm like, my band sort of hasn't been around for about a year. I'm like, I'm just going to restring my guitar and I'm going to belt out some songs for a few hours. I sung way too much.
You sung till your voice was gone.
I sung till I vomited.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot of singing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it. I'm out of practice. I really pushed myself in a few things. I went too far. I'm like, oh, my throat's starting to hurt, but I really want to finish this song to an audience of nobody. And then I can talk for 3 days.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious me. Okay, I think that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you for... that's the end?
The end, yes.
Just checking?
Just quickly check the chat.
Oh, yeah, I haven't looked at all.
Yeah, Deneth is in there, said, are you still recording or did the show end?
You can always tell because we're on point
well,
all
actually
the time.
Says, or because I'm not hearing anything anymore. Maybe there's some technical thing that stopped the... Oh, it looks like it might have actually. I don't think the voice is going through.
Bloody hell, James.
Oh, well. So...
Yeah, that's your department.
Yeah, because I can see the little thing moving there, so I assume we're all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I monitor.
Yes, yeah.
Just like Randy Pitchford needs to do. Do your preparation. Know what you're doing. Know your equipment. Have a backup. My backup is just remembering.
It works out all right for us.
Yeah. I just said, oh, yeah, we lost another recording. So, James, he...
Well, actually, I think, given like we're up to... I mean, our number is bigger than that.
Yeah, it's much bigger than that.
Yeah. I think in that whole time, we've lost maybe like 3 or 4 episodes.
I don't even think that many. I think it's like 2.
Yeah, I think we've had a pretty good run with not losing shit.
Yeah. I don't know if all the video stuff got backed up when we were doing the live show, but that wasn't me.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, thank you for listening to 8.5bit. You can catch the website, 8.5bit.com, Twitter, Facebook. Please like and share, anything like that. And subscribe to us on whatever the hell you damn well want. You can join our Discord at discord.8.5bit.com.
Apparently, we broadcast okay some of the time, but not today.
Yeah, it's always James's fault when something is wrong.
Yeah. Classic James.
Or it's Ben's fault.
Ah, man, Miss Ben.
Miss Ben. Miss blaming Ben. Otherwise, thank you for joining us. I've been your host, Paul.
And I've been James.
Have fun. See you in 2 weeks.